Hey there, folks. Thanks for joining me on Raw Tropical Living today. My name's Jack, and I will be your raw food guru. No, or as Tony Robbins likes to say, I am not your guru. Guys, today I want to talk to you about how to stop struggling on a raw food diet, and I'm going to tell you a few things to do. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you'd go down and hit the subscribe button now, and then click on that little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel and can come back and check out some more of my content. I still get quite, I've been raw for over 9 years now. I've been doing videos for 7 or 8 years, and I still get quite, I understand it because there's always new people. I have to realize no matter how many times I've said something, that every time I put a video out, there's going to be at least one, if not a number more, of people that have never seen my content before. So that, for people that have followed me for a long time, and I love you, I appreciate that support for so long, but that's why sometimes things get a little repetitive here, because I believe in the basics, and I know that a lot of my messages here are kind of repetitive. And I'm aware of that, and I'm okay with that because I do that for a specific reason. I'm not into all this flashy raw food stuff and all the programs and do this and there's 87 steps and blah, 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 or plans or programs or any of that stuff. It is very simple, straightforward stuff. It is it's about feeding our body. And it is about, I've got notes like I always do. It's about, for me, if this one phrase would sum it all up, it's about feeding your body optimal nutrition every time you put a bite of food into your mouth, without being a fanatic about it. Because I know somebody will hear that and they'll hear perfection, like, oh my God, he never eats anything unless it's just absolutely, no. But when I'm not eating something that is the optimal nutrition for me to be eating at that moment, I know that I'm doing that. I know why. I have a reason for doing it. And also, too, I haven't strayed outside of, like my parameters where I'm doing anything all that bad. It's just like what I'm saying is that's what should be our goal, I think, most of the time when we're putting food in our mouth, is to get the optimal nutrition in. That's all it's about, plain and simple. That's what I've talked about a number of times in the past too, about how you're sitting around during the day or, thinking out how you're going to eat or what you're going to eat next meal, or whether you're planning your meals a day ahead of time or whatever. Or if it's just, if you're like the typical person, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you haven't planned anything and you're just start like, oh, I'm hungry. It's about when you're making the decisions on what you're having for breakfast, lunch, dinner, if you break it down into meals, or what you're just eating when you're feeding yourself, it should be about nutrition and not about taste. And once again, I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way, thinking like, it's about eating a bunch of just plain boring food that's nutrition. It's not like you have to make a choice. There's plenty of tasty things out there. But I see people sometimes getting just a little too caught up in the recipe thing, like wanting a recipe for everything. Or I hear people just like, I used to do this when I ate a standard American diet. How many times have you heard somebody say, what do you feel like eating tonight? What do you have a taste for tonight? Well, that's not how we feed our bodies. That's not how any organism in nature feeds their body except for us humans. So, what would I suggest? Number one, as I'm always saying, if you're restricting yourself for any reason whatsoever, and I know a lot of those thoughts that you're rationalizing with yourself, well, I'll only restrict until I lose some weight, and then I'll start doing it normally. Not going to work. You need to start from day one eating enough calories, eating enough energy for your body size and your activity level. Now, let's take it a step further than that. You can't just simply fill let's say your body requires 2,700 calories a day to maintain and to function. You can't eat just 2,700 calories of anything and expect to be satisfied. Listen, it wasn't like a problem, so when I used the word, I used to binge eat just like everybody else when I was younger. And one thing that I remember that I've thought about since I've come to this lifestyle is back when I used to binge eat, I had kind of this mentality. Sometimes I'd start off a day and I ate a few things that were bad, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just writing this whole day off and I'm going to eat. I'm just going to eat whatever I want today. I'll get back on my plan tomorrow, or I'll get on my diet tomorrow, or I'll get on it Monday. And the thing I found is I could just eat ungodly amounts of calories, because on days like that, it was just about, entertaining myself, like just about my taste buds. So I've had days like that where I've literally had a large pizza, 8-piece bucket of chicken, a gallon of ice cream, a box or two of macaroni and cheese, potato chips, and any number of other things. Yeah, all of that on one day. And I still was hungry. And I would eat one of those things, and then 30 minutes later, I'd still be hungry. Why was I still hungry with all those calories that I was taking in? Because my body still was hungry for nutrition. It wasn't getting any of the nutrition it needed. And that's why so many people are struggling and then failing on this lifestyle, because they are not completely they're not doing both of those. They're not completely feeding the body what it needs. They're not feeding it enough, and they're not feeding it the nutrition that it needs. Now for me, like I say, this will be very repetitive for you guys watching me, just to let people know that might be new. What do I subsist on? What do I eat? What are my staples of eating? Fruit. Fruit is the base. Fruit is where I get my most calories from. Greens. I try most days to get a large salad in, and I try to get a green smoothie in. On those salads, another thing that's become very important to me over the last anywhere from 6 months to a year is the diversity, getting more colors, getting different vegetables, getting different fruits. So when I'm making my salads, just had a salad a little while ago, had a big head of red leaf lettuce. I had some broccoli slaw. I get that in a package down here. That's easy. But I could just chop up my own broccoli. But I have some broccoli slaw on there. I have some chopped up purple cabbage on there. And then I have some sprouts on there. So that is a diverse salad. And I could even get some more stuff in there. I had a red pepper over there I could have chopped up. But get that diversity in. So it's the fruit, it's the greens. It's the diversity of those those vegetables and the fruits, not just the greens, but I like to get the other things in there, like the purple cabbage. I like to shred carrots sometime. I like to get all kind of different cucumbers in there, just tomatoes. But the more diversity, the better. Another thing I've been harping on and on about, if this is your first time here or haven't heard me speak about it, one of the top recommended books that I give to people is Fiber Fueled. Dr. B. I can't ever pronounce his name. It's a Polish last name, but you can find it. Just search Fiber Fueled, and that's what kind of took me a step further and opened my eyes to how I like getting more diverse with how I was eating. Because if you go back and watch a number of my What I Ate Today videos, I'm not always doing things perfectly. I've gotten kind of stale from time to time, and you'll see periods I've gone through where I wasn't diverse and I was just eating the same 5 or 6 things over and over and over. The next one, and I've got them, I'm kind of back in my groove on having them regularly now, always having sprouts going. But lentil sprouts, I swear by lentil sprouts. I think I've got a video on here about lentil sprouts. If I don't, search my channel for lentil sprouts, or either just go to Google and search Google Sprouts health benefits, but they're insane. And then I supplement. I don't care. Some people don't believe in supplementing. I don't know. That's it. That's up to you. But I supplement a few things, such as I've got a vegan omega-3. For a long time I was, and I'm still not in the sun all the time, so I'll supplement vitamin D3 from time to time. I'll supplement zinc sometimes, and I do a B12 supplement. But really the only one that I'm steady about all the time, no matter what, whether I'm here or in Costa Rica, is the B12. But it's a practical approach. There are no tricks. This is not a diet. I don't know how many times I need to say this. You cannot think about this in the same way you think of Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or any of those other garbage weight loss programs that have never worked for anybody. Never, 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 never. Even those celebrities, they get to tout those things. You'll see them, and they're constantly yo-yoing up and down. I guess they get more money for losing and gaining weight. You'll see one of those spokespersons talking about how they lost so much on Jenny Craig, and then you see them somewhere else 6 months later, and they've blown back up, gained all their weight back. So it's about feeding our bodies. It's not about the taste, or it's not about the distractions. But once again, you can have both. I don't want anybody to leave this video thinking like it's an either or. And if you decide to be nutrition, you can't be delicious. I can rhyme a little bit there, can't I? Like I was talking to Melissa yesterday and talking about the insane amount of recipes that she has. I was talking about, it's funny that she has so many recipes and people are still always, can I get a recipe? Can I get another recipe? Another recipe? If you just had all her recipes, you'd have 150 recipes. And 150 recipes of anybody's, or of mixture of anybody's, blows my mind, when I'm just like, I'm probably existing on about 10 recipes total. I've got my salad dressing recipes, a few things just for fun, and that's about it. But it can be both. It can be both. It can be nutritious and it can taste good too. But there's no tricks. There's no tricks. And I'll finish kind of with this, and this kind of is I've talked about this in relation to cravings before too. It's not going to just one day, like, you're not going to talk to somebody and they're going to tell you something. It's just going to magically slip into place. And you're going to go from having struggled today to it's going to be easy tomorrow. You've just got to stop putting, like, the things that are causing you, the things that are your stumbling blocks, the things that that you're craving, that you're trying to avoid. You've just got to white knuckle it. You've just got to keep it out of your system. The longer you don't give in and eat that thing that you don't want to eat, or put a substance into your body, think about smoking. I always say that. Just think about that pull of smoking. The longer that's out of your system, the less it's going to pull on you. And every time you introduce that troubled food or that thing that you don't want to eat back into your system, it just kicks your taste buds right into gear. It kicks your body right back into wanting that. So eventually, everything that I have that hasn't served me, that I've wanted to eliminate from what I've done, like, at some point it just goes away. Yes, it can be a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning. Oh, okay, I want this. I'm thinking about this. I want to do this. I want to do that. The more you resist it, the less it calls out to you. And before you know it, that's all you're thinking about. Like, that's all I'm thinking about. Now that I've pretty much gotten settled in here, I'm thinking total nutrition again. And every time I'm about to eat, I'm thinking, what do I need to put into my body right now? Okay, I've had this for breakfast. I've had this for lunch. Nope, got to get a green smoothie so I can get these certain things in. So anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again midweek. Peace.